This all began on February 6th, 1913, in the old Bates homestead on Eastvale Avenue. It was a time when surgery was routinely performed on the patient's kitchen table because there was nowhere else in Kokomo to do it. When doctors worked blind because there was no X-ray machine locally to reveal the nature of injuries. When accidents too often led to death because patients couldn't survive the trip on rough roads to the nearest hospital in Indianapolis. In 1912, Dr. Edgar Cox turned to the Sisters of St.Joseph of Tipton and asked them to do what no one else in Howard County had been willing to do: build a hospital to serve the area's 20,000 residents. The sisters had little experience and no funds. Their first fundraising effort realized just 12 cents. Yet they never gave up. After all, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Tipton had trekked from Watertown, New York, across a frozen Lake Ontario to get to Indiana to fulfill their mission. We are here to serve. And serve they did, filled with faith and committed to caring for the dear neighbor. The sisters established not just the first hospital in Howard County, but also the first school of nursing, to ensure care at the hospital would be of the highest quality.
Today, this is a very special place where people come for healing.
For help.
For hope.
To complete their life's journey with dignity and surrounded by love.
To welcome new lives.
This is a place where technology and skill come together with care and compassion to provide healing for body, mind, and spirit.
Where I can show doctors exactly how blood is flowing to the heart and oxygen to the brain.
Where I can target cancer treatment to do the most good and the least harm.
Where I can treat vascular issues with precision.
Where I discover breast cancer in its earliest, most treatable form.
Where I discovered that having breast cancer is no longer a death sentence.
This is where I came to survive a heart attack.
Where I came to have my hips replaced so that I could continue to work and actually make a living.
Where I met my baby for the first time.
And fell in love at first sight.
For 100 years, St. Joseph Hospital has served all who were in need of our services, regardless of their ability to pay. We have cared for multiple generations of Howard County families. Through the Great Flood of 1913, through the flu epidemic of 1918, through World War I, the Klan March of 1923, the move to Sycamore Street, our nurses shipping out to serve in World War II, the post-war boom, the expansion of the hospital to 300 beds, the modernization that brought private rooms and, air conditioning.
And the transfer of sponsorship from the Sisters of St. Joseph to the Daughters of Charity and St. Vincent Health in 1994.
If our founders walked our halls today, they'd be astounded. They wouldn't recognize our technology, but they'd instantly recognize our spirit.
We continue to keep their promises.
We are here to serve.
We are here to keep healthcare human.
We've put our own twist on things.
But we have never lost sight of why we are here.
I'm here to heal.
To help.
To comfort.
To encourage.
To educate.
To advocate.
Rooted in the loving ministry of Jesus as healer, we commit ourselves to serving all persons.
All persons.
All persons.
With special attention to those who are poor and vulnerable.
Our Catholic Health Ministry is dedicated to spiritually centered holistic care,
which sustains and improves the health of individuals
and communities.
We are advocates for a compassionate and a just society.
Through our actions and our words.
This all began on February 6, 1913, in an old homestead on Eastvale Avenue. A falling down, worn out, 1.5-story house. The sisters said everything in it bespoke the poverty of the old building. Even the best was poor. Yet they transformed the homestead into a tiny 12-bed hospital, and it thereby became holy ground. We are privileged to continue the work begun by our founders 100 years ago.
To be the keepers of the promises for this generation.
To be the pioneers of this generation, dedicated to continuing to advance and improve healthcare in our community.
As we cross the threshold from our first century into our second, we are acutely aware. This is our time to make a difference, our time to create a strong and vibrant legacy for future generations. What will we do with our next 100 years? What can't we do?
With God's providence, with dedicated and skilled doctors, with caring and compassionate nurses and staff, with tireless volunteers, with the support of our community and the generosity of our donors, what can't we do?